I'm going to show you 3 techniques, 2 for pec minor, lung 1 at the junction of the chest and shoulder, and the second technique, or the third technique, will be for the hamstrings. So first technique, I'm going to suggest that you come into half kneeling with one foot stepping across the body. Reach your far arm across, so your right hand meets your friend's right hand, or your left hand to their left hand. You're going to lean back and traction the body so you get the shoulder off the ground. That'll give you space to place your hand under the scapula. Here we release. I haven't done anything with that hand. The weight of the scapula is on the hand. I bring the other hand to lung 1, the letting go spot, and then I simply draw my other hand out. What that does is it rotates the shoulder more onto the back. Keeping this hand where it is, I'm going to make a little circle. So there is 10% pressure here, very little. I make a little circle. I feel for where to go. And then I start straightening my arm. I apply some body weight. I bring the second hand on top. The whole time I'm drawing my energy in towards my receiver's core, towards her center. And then my top hand applies some more pressure. And I just want you to remember to go slow. You stay here for several breaths. The slower you go, the deeper you can penetrate. As one of my teachers often says, you can never go too deep, only too fast. She's definitely feeling that. Okay, nice to do a little circle on the way out. That's just a finishing touch. And here, for another finishing touch, we can palm down the forearm. Imagine that you're sweeping energy off the arm, so it's a nice way to finish up. Second technique, we're going to be working same muscle, but from a different angle. So I can set the shoulder onto the back like I did before, like so. And then I'm kneeling on this side so that my hip is going to be in line with where I want to drop pressure. So here you can see that I'm facing at a 90-degree angle away from this line. And I place my hand here. My other hand is going to help to shorten the pec minor muscle, this lung line here. So when I first place my hand, I apply maybe 15-20% pressure, and then I'm going to feel what it's like when I lift the arm slightly. I release that down. I'm just holding the hand here. I draw energy in towards the center, and then what I'm going to do is try to close this gap between my hip and my arm. Notice that as I get closer, the more body weight I apply.
It also seems like you're slightly changing the rotation of your arm.
Yeah, my elbow is rotating forward. That helps me to keep my arm straight. That's really nice. And then as I come out, I can feel that my hand is hot, the spot is hot, so I just shake it out. So I use my fingers like a hook on the top of the shoulder to shake. Last technique for the hamstrings. So you see I work around the body, I try to stay connected. Okay, so she's showing me that little low back adjustment. So I'm going to be mindful of that. Bending her knees will feel a bit more supportive. And then here we can just start with a little test The test is just bending the knees and bringing them in towards the center. How does that feel, Roxy? Just a little stretch for the low back. I bring her body into a happy baby position. I'm going to wait for her knees to drop. And then I place my knee sort of above the hamstring insertion and really in a meaty part of the hamstring there. I find the spot with one foot, then the other, about there. I come in. Feel like that's pretty good. My knees fix this point. I bring the shoulders behind the heels, hands to the shoulder well, lung one. So here I'm just focusing on rooting down through the knees and waiting for her breath. Her breath is going to help guide me to bring her hamstrings into more extension. And that might be about it. I can feel I can go a little bit further. Maybe a little bit further. The hands are primarily for support. The knees are really doing the work. You okay? You sure? I'm going to adjust the knees here and see if we can get a little bit more. That's about it. Great. I come out the way I came in. I let the weight of her legs fall. And then we'll release. Thank you, Roxy.